Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video. And as you can see in the title, we're doing another pickups video. Yes, I had another one waiting for you guys. I promise you guys this is the last one for a while. You know what, I shouldn't say that because you never know what's going to happen. But I wanted to get this one out for you guys because I don't want to stack up on these videos because like they become longer the more I stack on certain games. So I feel like a good 10 to 20 minute video is pretty good for you guys when it comes to pickups. But anyways, guys, enough about that. Let's get into the games. Here's Gravity Circuit for most of the main modern consoles. This game took me by surprise. I've been watching it for a while, and I couldn't wait for it to come out, and it did from Pixel Love. Now, if you're familiar with games like Mega Man X or even the Gunvolt series, you'll know what to expect here. Even the Mega Man Zero series, I would say too. But you play as a robot named Kai, and you're going against the virus army. Now, starting off this game, I felt right at home. You know, being a beat-em-up platformer, action platformer, I just kind of knew what to do pretty much. You know, got used to the moves immediately, and the first level does a good job of letting the game flow, not really interrupting you while you're trying to learn stuff. But the main thing in this game is that you're gonna have a grappling hook that'll kind of get you past a certain hazards. You can also use the grappling hook to interrupt enemies' attacks and take out enemies too. But mostly too, as you progress through the game, you'll learn new moves that you can add to your arsenal. You can have up to 4 moves, like special moves, and 4 just regular moves that you can add as well. Graphically, the game looks like an 8-bit, maybe even 16-bit, like hybrid type game with the sprite artwork it has. So I think a lot of old school fans will feel familiar with that. The music is phenomenal. The music is catchy as hell. Like, you guys will love it. And the controls, depending on how good you are at platform games, I feel like that's gonna really decide how the controls are to you. They felt great to me. They were really tight. I didn't really have any trouble pulling off any moves. But at the same time, I feel like I'm an expert at these type of games. The only caveat I have against it is that I feel like some of the levels are too long. It's like, man, hurry up and get through this level. But maybe that's just me. You know, not everybody will feel like that. And definitely, if people want a sequel to this game, they're not going to be worrying about that because the longer the levels, the better. But still, I felt they were a little bit too long, but that's okay. I think I got a little bit mad because I was struggling on the highway level. Like, there's a part where you have to get on this board and dodge these missiles coming at you. It was getting kind of annoying because my timing wasn't perfect. But once I got it down, it went well. I wanted to go by faster because I was flowing through the game. When you go through a flow in the game, like you're flowing, you just feel like there's a rhythm to it. And once that rhythm is interrupted, man, you start changing things up and you start messing up and it just gets annoying. But I got through it, thankfully, and it was awesome. Now, going into the boss fights in this game, you fight the robot masters at the end of the level, and pretty much there's dialogue between you with the story and everything. These robot masters are definitely really unique and fun. I think a lot of people will love it because it's very similar to how the Mega Man and Mega Man X games are, so look forward to that. And also, too, you have a hub before every level that you could talk to other characters with, buy new items and things like that. So like I said, it's going to be very familiar for people who played those type of games like Mega Man and all that stuff, especially Mega Man Zero with the hub that you have. But that's all I got to say about this one for now, guys. I'm having fun with it. I'm about halfway through the game, but I'll let you guys know probably in a later review how I feel about the entire experience. But I just feel it's very unique to get a game like this in a physical format these days, so I'm very happy about that. So we got them on the PS5, PS4, and the Switch. So let's celebrate this as a win for physical. Here's Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 1. Now, this has been out for a while, and I don't think I've really talked about this game, but this pretty much comes with 10 classic games on the Neo Geo from the Neo Geo Pocket. Now, they were careful to select certain games on this because they wanted to make a Volume 2, which is pretty much, I believe it's out now. And me playing that version too, it looks like they saved enough games on that one. Well, they added enough games on that one to make a Volume 3. So I think 3 volumes of this is what we'll get. But I think they did a good job selecting certain games to kind of spread it out, I guess. I would have rather them have all in one, but you know these companies, man, they want to make that money, so yeah, that's how they do it. But this is a great collection of games to have. I think it's perfect for the Switch. Actually, I would have liked it to come out on the PS4 or another system besides that, but the Switch was the perfect system for it. And you guys know I was an avid Neo Geo Pocket Color collector. I pretty much finished up my collection years ago, but I feel like playing these games on the Switch kind of breathes new life into them. So if you see it this out there, I would say pick it up. Obviously it's out digital, but you know me, I say go for the physical 100%. Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus. You know, I really tried to like this game. I really wanted to like this game, but I don't know, it was just over the top for me, too crazy. And then when I was trying to make progress in the game, you know, I got tired one night and I felt, I'm pretty sure I made it to a save point, but when I played it the next day, I had to start the whole level over again. I was like, dude, if this is going to happen in this game, that no way I'm wasting my time with it. So I feel like this is one of those first-person shooters that I would enjoy watching somebody else play. The stories is way too over the top and too crazy for me, but I did like it. But like I said, I like just to watch somebody else play it instead. So I'm going to pass on this one. I'm pretty sure you guys don't feel the same way. I'm sure you guys had a good time with this one. The good thing is I got it for $5, so definitely didn't pay a lot for it, but I probably will be selling this game later on. Here's Urban Legend in Limbo. Now, this is my first time hearing about this game, and it's been out for quite a while from what I've seen. It's a aerial combat fighting game, so it kind of like reminds me a little bit of maybe a little bit of a Psychic Force, or maybe more, I would say, of Astra Superstars for the Sega Saturn. Kind of more reminds me of that one. But anyways, this is a fun aerial combat game, so I think I'm getting pretty used to the controls. I was able to pull off a super move, so the game definitely has potential. But if you guys have heard of this game, let me know what you think about it. Of course, a shout out to my buddy Kyle for keeping me laced up on this one, bro. I appreciate you. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. I would say next to Need for Speed Most Wanted, this is the game that got me into racing games. If you like arcade racers, this game is definitely up your alley. I remember this game was online too, man. Had a lot of good online races, just a whole lot of fun. I feel like this game is kind of forgotten about, and because they had a sequel come out on the PS3 and 360, Midnight Club of, I think it was called Los Angeles, and it even had an extended edition where they added like South Central map to it and everything. But from that point on, Rockstar hasn't really continued this series, unfortunately, and these games are a lot of fun. I also remember playing this game on the PS2 back in the day, and there was some cheating going on online with people. But back then, they didn't really have the filters to protect you from the cheaters online using Game Shark and Codebreaker. But still, overall, a lot of fun. Still going back and playing this game. The extras they added to the game, the cars and maps, is totally, really worth it. Definitely a game you still want to play today. Here's Unsouled, the Collector's Edition. Now, I'll be going in more about the Collector's Edition, probably in a later video next month that you guys will see. But going into this game, people were telling me it was like a Dark Souls type game, like a top-down Dark Souls game. Now, from what you're seeing here, this is about a prince in a fallen kingdom, and you absorb the souls of the people he kills. But I'm hoping the game is not like Dark Souls in the way that is difficult, because, man, I mean, though I like difficulty in games, for a game like this style, I just don't want that kind of difficulty, because I'll put the game down. But I will let you guys know next month how I feel about this game. But if you like the footage you're seeing here, give this one a look at. The King of Fighters 13 Global Match is an awesome, fantastic game, but it went through a development hell, and a lot of people don't even know about this. So actually, This game was actually supposed to be King of Fighters 12, but it wasn't ready in time. So we got the Dream Match that we know is that game. And we know how horrible that game turned out. Didn't even have teams, just like no story mode, just was insane. But to make up for it, they went all out with the final product, which was 13. And it is here in its entirety with the DLC characters. Now, originally this game came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360 plus arcades. And I think it was pretty well received, but a lot of people didn't really know about it at the time. A lot of people were really focused on Street Fighter 4, so I feel like this game got overlooked, I would say. But it's a fantastic game. It's the end of the Ash Crimson saga, so that ends that story arc. Usually the King of Fighters games, they'll go like 3 games with the same story arc, and then they'll have a final ending to it. So this game ends that story arc. Now, one of the things I loved about this game is, of course, as you're seeing here, the animations. They're very well done. They worked really hard on them. I felt we could have used these animation sprites for a couple more King of Fighters games, but unfortunately, I mean, they went with what they did in 14 and 15. I mean, I like sprites, but I understand take a long time to work on. Like, if you guys remember going back to Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, I mean, it took 6 months to get a character's full animations done. 6 months for one character, so think about that. But anyways, guys, this game is now available. You know, it is available on the PS3, 360, but that version. I don't know if a lot of people are going after that generation version, so we want to play on more modern platforms now, so they have the global match ready to go. And what this includes is all the DLC, like the extra characters, Mr. Karate, and who else? There's one other person I can't remember right now. And of course, Billy Kane was in the regular game, but he's unlockable when you beat him in the story mode, so just so you know that. But definitely a worthy series. If you see this game out there, well, you should see it out there. Get that physical copy and try it out. Here's PopCap Hits Volume 2. Now, Heavy Weapon, as you see on here, was a game I played on the PS3 network, and I had a good time with this game back in the early days of the PSN. I never knew the game had a physical release on this collection, so I recently got this through a trade with my buddy Gerald. Now, this game is not for everybody, but it's more like arcade fun, I would say. You know, it's kind of simplistic. You know, depending on what weapons you get, they'll kind of keep the game going. But still, you know, this game was more of a nostalgia pickup for me. So if you like what you're seeing here, it's definitely, I would say, more like a mobile game, arcade game. But yeah, it's just something I wanted to get. Shell Shock 967. I remember seeing this game back when the PS2 was a modern console, and I didn't really play games like this back then. You know, I just played like more like fighting games and RPGs, so I never gave this one a chance. But a few years ago, I played Spec Ops The Line. Well, it's actually been longer than that. It was like 10 years ago when I played that game, and then playing it a few months ago again. Made me want to take a look at this game and see how it is. I'm hoping for the same kind of pull that Spec Ops The Line had, but I'm not really sure. You know, if you guys have played this game, you know, let me know what you think about it. And possibly if I like this one, I'll pick up the sequel to it on the PS3. But anyways, guys, yeah, let me know what you think about Shell Shock 967 if you have played it.
For everyone asking about Gunner and his crew, we'll get the info out just as...
He's so horny! Mama-san say you so sexy, GI here!
You want the best, GI? I teach you all about love. And if you want nice pillow talk, my tongue speaks Yankee very well.
Here's Silpheed for the Sega CD. This is a vertical shooter, and want to give a shout out to my buddy Kyle. He knows I was building a Sega CD collection, and he sent me this, so appreciate you, bro. But when I had this game back in the day, what I loved about it was that the people, there's constant action going on, but you have your navigators talking to you constantly, so you really feel like you're in like an epic battle. Now, the game may not look like much to today's standards, but trust me, this game is a lot of fun. It reminds me a lot of Gyrus, if you guys remember that from the arcades back in the day, one of Konami's games. The game's got a great soundtrack too, definitely something you can set your watch to. It took me back in the day, I want to say around 40 minutes to beat this game, but it's 40 minutes of fun, and I think a lot of you will enjoy this one. But, you know, this one is on the Sega CD, so, you know, you're going to have to like either buy the Sega CD version or you're going to have to emulate it. But either way, definitely add this game to your playing list.
Proceed with caution. There's too many of them.
Here's Treasures of the Aegean. This is the collector's edition, and this was sent to me by Monkey Paw 25. So good looking out on that one, man. I appreciate you. If you like adventure games, this is very similar to like what I would say old school Prince of Persia, the side-scrolling one, but of course a lot faster pace. You know, I feel like it has like Uncharted vibes to it. You know, there's like these kind of quick time events where you have to race to get through stuff or like hazards and things like that. So definitely something pretty cool. Now, there's some cool puzzles in the game, but it doesn't break up the flow of action. The puzzles are pretty clever, and it keeps the pacing going pretty fast, I would say. I'm looking forward to getting through this one. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, but I would love to know what you guys think of it.